All right. And I'm recording just in case.
Right on.
All right. So we're live, but it's unlisted and it's not scheduled, so we shouldn't send a blast to our audience.
Right.
They can also see us, by the way. If there is any they to be had.
All right, they can see us, so I won't make no gang signs.
Exactly. Please no gang signs.
Please no gang signs.
All right. Yeah, we didn't get a notification, so it's great. Hi, if you're there. I don't think you are. I'm gonna look. Yep, 0 watching. We should be good.
Is there anybody out there?
So, all right. Hey, everybody, welcome to this holiday episode of Elseworlds Exchange, although I did not wear a Santa hat for this one.
No.
I'm not gonna do it. Forget it.
I was this close to buying one, but instead, because it's Wednesday, I opted for my finest Aquaman shirt, because I need to do some Aquaman stuff when we're done here.
Nice. Good-looking shirt. You know, you wanna show that, you wanna wave that Aquaman flag.
Mm-hmm. Let's
It's
be called a
happening.
hipster when it's popular.
Exactly. Now, this episode is going to go live actually around the end, actually, after Christmas. It should be on, like, I guess, the 26th, 27th?
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, you know what? The holiday season doesn't end just because Christmas is over.
Nah, it keeps on going. For as long as for me, it's not over till I take down the tree, and I'm lazy, so sometimes I don't take it down till way after New Year's.
Oh, yeah. But at the very least, we have the statute of limitations of New Year's. Hey, we got one person from the Patreon watching us right now. Welcome to the show, you lucky patron. You're gonna see this episode of whatever. Maybe I should do the intro again.
That's all right. It's commentary time, everyone. Again, in this season of redos and gifts to the fan base, you wanted us to do more commentary tracks, and we're doing one for you, and it's holiday themed, so it's a twofer.
That's right. We're going to be doing Justice League Season 2, Episode 23's Comfort and Joy. Of course, this is the only way that you can get this kind of commentary, and of course, if you want to watch it along with us, you're gonna have to get your legally obtained copy of your Justice League show. You can watch it on DC Universe or on any number of places. I think Amazon has a copy you can buy. iTunes, you can also get it there.
It was on Netflix for a bit. I don't know if it's still there, though.
It is not. I checked, and no. But you can watch Batman Bad Blood on Netflix.
Yes, of the true classic, the true holiday classic, Batman Bad Blood.
Yeah. But we do have so I actually am watching it on DC Universe. Joel's watching it on a completely legally obtained version of the
Absolutely.
show. So the way we're going to queue it up is I've got it paused. If you're watching it via the internet, you may not have the intro with Bugs Bunny where he intros the WB logo. If he does, once Bugs Bunny disappears and it fades to black completely, wait 1 second, pause it. Or if you're watching on DC Universe, simply wait go to the 3-second mark, where the screen is completely black. It should fade on. You'll see 2 planets kind of coalescing. That's when it's going to begin. So I'll give you a minute to pause this commentary track, and we'll let you know when. So when I say 3, 2, so you pause it there, and then when I say 3, 2, 1, we're all going to unpause the show, and then watch the show together.
Yeah.
So make sure you got your episode of Comfort and Joy queued up. And so here we go. You're also going to be able to hear a little bit of the show in this episode.
To help you keep up.
I'll try not to make it too overwhelming.
Here, I'll turn down my audio too, because I never know what's getting where.
Exactly. So, all right. Here we go, everybody. Get your shows ready to go. And 3... Joel, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. And 3, 2, 1, unpause. You should get that great musical score. Here comes a planet. It looks like it's going to crash another planet.
I liked in the Justice League show they would do these little preambles sometimes, like the adventure before the adventure.
Right?
We are doing everything within our power to save your world.
Here we go.
This is a really fitting commentary to do, too, because pretty much everyone who's on the Justice League team in this show is big in the comics again in Snyder's run.
Largely in part to Scott Snyder being a fan of the show.
I'm amazed it took them that long to say, you know what, screw it, let's just do the TV show. It's what everyone loves and remembers anyway.
Let's just do the thing that everyone likes, or remembers.
Novel concept.
Yeah, because as much as everybody likes Grant Morrison's run on Justice League, it's basically this, but it's also that was a long time ago, and you know what happened between then and now? This cartoon show.
Yeah, lots of stuff happened. Now, this was the season finale of Season 2, and the only episode that was standalone, one and done. Everything else was multiple parts.
It's true, everything was, like, literally connected to each other. It was, like, previously on X-Men, but for Justice League. It was actually kind of a welcome respite. I remember being like, what's happening when I was watching the show as it was coming out. I'm like, oh, are we doing a thing? Like, how will this connect? And it thankfully doesn't. It's just a little thing.
It was even more confusing if you watched this on Canadian TV, because this was like first run on Cartoon Network, and we didn't get Cartoon Network till years later. These episodes would trickle in through our YTV, so you would always end up watching arcs out of order, and that always pissed me off.
Oh yeah, no, that is insufferable. I mean, like, watching shows out of order is, number one, a good sign that a network wants to kill a show, and number two, usually the surefire way to kill a show is to show it out of sequence. So
I mean, that was just standard Canadian TV there, being like, meh, you figure it out, Canuck children.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like, they never really, no one's ever thought, like, we should probably do something about this. I like that John wears underwear and a cape, and Shayera is wearing a jacket.
Yep.
She's like, it's chilly.
You know, those harsh Martian winters you hear so much about.
It's true. I think it is cold on the surface of Mars. So
I'm sure it must be.
So what are they doing? They're saving some, like, fish planet?
Yeah, I'm saving some crustacean people. Another planet was going to crash into them, but the Justice League were on this one.
Right? That's awesome. Now come to Earth and solve the energy crisis.
Hey, man, you know, you can save green people on another planet, but what about us down here on Earth, Green Arrow?
What'd you think of this Superman's voice?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I watched more of the Superman show, but he eventually grew on me.
Right? I remember the pilot for Justice League airing and me watching it and being like, oh my god, this is before I had, like, any real connection to, like, behind the scenes for this show in particular. I didn't even know the show was going to come out. I just saw a promo for it, and I'm like, well, I'm going to watch this shit. And so I didn't know, like, how much of Bruce Timm and Paul Dini or anybody was going to be working on the show. And then finding out, like, and then seeing the animation side of it, I'm like, oh, it looks like Batman Season 4. And then hearing Kevin Conroy's voice, I'm like, oh my god! They got Kevin Conroy. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it right. And then Superman opens his mouth, and I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah, you're not my guy. You're not the guy from Wings.
Yeah, you're not Tim Daly. But then, a funny thing happened. I grew to like him.
He gets some very meaty stuff, like in the Brainiac heavy episodes and in the Superman heavy episodes.
Yeah, and as, like, a huge geek like me, like, I remember being like, man, I can't believe that they denied poor Tim Daly these opportunities to be freaking awesome. They gave it to this guy. But that being said, like, apparently Tim Daly was just busy. He was working on, like, a live-action show. He was just literally couldn't do it.
And he comes back every so often.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they never give this poor dude his due. He did, though. I think he played the voice of Superman on Superman versus the Elite.
Oh, which is a really good one.
Yeah, I think that's him. And he does a great job. He does just as good. And I'm like, I kind of like him. I think he does a great job.
Agreed. Now, for those who weren't paying attention, the general thrust of this episode is Martian Manhunter is sad at Christmas, and Superman's like, not on my fucking watch.
That's right. Superman's like, eat this. Here's joy and family.
And comfort all up in you. And also, John's just having fun, you know, getting away from all the Green Lantern business.
Right? And what's Shayera's motivation to be with him besides, like, she wants to bang him? Like, why is she like, oh, I'll do this? Because she complains, as I recall, throughout this whole episode about how John wants to have, like, a fun, nice...
That he's being corny.
Yeah, and it's like, this is the guy, honey. Like, this is the person you want to be with.
Now, is this before or after they revealed that she was a spy from Thanagar?
I think that was before.
I can't recall. Because I know this is where they start planting the seeds of their relationship, but that doesn't pay off till later.
No, I think, isn't, like, the season finale for season 1, like, her taking off her mask and then making out?
Yes, you might be correct on that. I'm mixing up a bunch of stuff, I'm sure. It's been long since I've watched it in its entirety.
As I recall, the second that, like, the Thanagar War ends, Shayera never puts on the Hawk Girl
mask
costume.
again. Yeah, that's right. And they have a whole thing where it's like, oh, we can't trust you. We got to kick you out and everything.
Yeah. And I guess this plot for Flash is Jingle All the Way?
Yes. Why not?
I really like... Of course, this episode is written by Paul Dini, who is hilarious and has, like, a huge chip on his shoulder about children's programming.
Boy, does he. It's almost like he's worked it in his whole life or something.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised there isn't, like, an Animaniacs dig.
Yeah.
But a farting duck is pretty savage.
Yep. Again, man who's worked in animation his whole life and I'm sure hates the toynetic nature of it. It's like, yeah, but can you sell the Flash, though? Could you put some more fart jokes in here, please?
Right? All right, now we're back on the farm. I like how there's no... Like, Superman goes through... He puts on a Clark Kent costume. He has presents and a jacket. And John is just like, and I'm a big green Martian in a blue cape.
And that his parents don't care and that they're super cool with it.
Oh, I like that they're cool with it. It's more like, yo, you're in my neighborhood, man. At least pretend to be a guy.
If they see John Jones coming to the Kent farm, it's only a matter of time till they know that I'm Superman.
Yeah, you're gonna raise a few eyebrows. I mean, the fact is, like, that's one of the things I actually love about American Alien is that, like, everyone in Smallville knows he's Superman.
That's a great wrinkle, and that the town just keeps his secret.
Yeah, because it's just like, you're one of ours. We're a small town. We're not gonna lie.
It's wholesome small town America.
Yeah. Hey, did you see the Supergirl Easter egg in there? She's part of the family portrait.
I sure did. There's quite a few, and they say, hey, why isn't Supergirl here? Ah, because she's skiing with Barbara.
Right. Oh, that's cute.
Keeping that relationship going, that they were friends from the end of Batman the Animated Series.
You know what that is? That's all Bruce. That's all Paul Dini. Just being like, no, we're not gonna drop that ball. I'm gonna make that reference.
Also, don't we see Streaky the Super Cat in this episode too?
We do. I guess this is like, what the hell are we looking at? Oh, I saw Wile E. Coyote there. Here he is, there's Streaky.
Also, too, I think that little alien plush on her bed there, that was like, wasn't that like John's sidekick back in the day, or like an alien that showed up in one of his books?
I think it has to be. This is cute that they're like engaged in a epic snow fight.
Also, too, I didn't get a chance to talk about, but the poster in the room there, that's also just pictures of the animators.
Oh, yeah. I think they try to turn them into, like, a boy band or something. That's right. I think they're cramming poor Jean into Kara's room. Are they on Earth, or are they on, like, a snow planet?
They're on the fish planet. They never left the fish planet.
That's what I thought. I was like, this just looks like Colorado.
Hey, I can see Benny's house from here.
Feeling more festive?
As my only frame of reference for Colorado.
Is that Benny lives there. My Colorado references are just like, have you ever seen HGTV? Every episode is in Colorado. Have you ever seen any new episode of any show on the Food Network? Guess where they're going? Colorado.
I wonder why.
It is rather picturesque.
I have a day off.
It's funny, too, in this whole, Flash has to find a toy storyline. Yeah. They never once say, oh, he asked Santa for help. So amazing superheroes are real in this universe, but Santa is not.
Oh, yeah.
So Flash isn't a red...
No, he's not real in this universe. Because I remember Clark is like, you mean Santa left out. Or Santa took the milk and cookies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right, Clark. Jesus.
But also, Flash, red suit, and probably could deliver a gift to everyone in the world in one night.
Yeah.
Go smack him up.
Isn't his ultimate plan being like, all right, I'll just go to Japan then?
That's right, he goes to, like, the manufacturers?
Yeah, it's where the stuff gets made, right?
Yeah. Forget it.
I'm Flash. I'm an American superhero. Gimme, gimme.
Yeah.
I take it back. Grodd was never this much trouble.
This is cute.
Very.
That's it.
This whole episode is cute. It's hard not to, right? Because it's just so damn watchable.
Yeah, it's so damn wholesome. Here we go. Man, you remembered.
This is our very last rubber ducky, but since
that's right, it gets wrecked.
Flash,
yep.
And the Ultra Humanites involved. Man, by the way, shout out to the creators of the show for like making Ultra Humanite not only a character but like a good character.
And to also have, Gorilla Grodd in the same show, but not have them be carbon copies of each other.
I was like two big, terrible Flash villain monkeys. We're gonna do that.
Sure are.
God, wrapping his presents in lead. Do you think that must have been like really expensive and probably cancerous?
Potentially poisonous, what we now know about lead.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it was lead with a nice little lining of asbestos in there, too, just to be safe.
I just read actually recently that apparently, like, the snow in The Wizard of Oz that they dumped on everybody was just pure, straight-up asbestos. Like, not even a little bit of anything else.
I heard of that, too. Holy shit.
Yeah, how terrifying. I can't even... Like, good thing none of them survived long enough to die of cancer.
To sue you, yeah.
Yeah. I love this sweater. I would wear this sweater.
It's a really nice sweater. Every year I almost get a Christmas sweater like this, but I always think against it because like retro Christmas sweaters like this have come back in vogue in a big way.
Yeah, I really like that. Like Martha is basically just used to making like beefy man sweaters because like Jean has to morph to the size of Clark, which I think is really cool.
He's a little smaller.
Yeah, I like the design of this planet. You could tell they were like, this is the closest thing we're ever going to get to an animated Star Wars show.
Yeah,
so let's just go for it. Also, great opportunity for Lobo to show up in this episode and completely squandered.
In the commentary, the official one, they said he was going to be in the episode, but they said, nah, you know what, if he shows up in here, he'll completely hijack it for himself, and we can't do that.
You know, Paul Dini, who wrote this episode, is a huge nerd and loves Easter eggs and throwing in like references and stuff. He's the guy who wanted to put, he's the guy who like championed to get Harley at the end of Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. I have no doubt that he wrote a huge scene for Lobo in this sequence.
Yeah, he did. Apparently he gets thrown out of the bar before they go in and they talk a little bit, and then it's like, well, what does Lobo do for Christmas?
I don't care. I just want him to be a cameo in this. I like these big frothy mugs.
Oh, yeah. We do get lots of alien cameos in the background. I think a bunch of the aliens are like Lord Spooge's henchmen.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. I like... We established, like, basically this is a cop who's just shown up like it's a narc at this disreputable bar.
Technically two cops, although I guess Shire in this universe, the Hawks aren't the space cops they used to be.
Nah, the Hawks in this universe are just like... I guess.
Yeah, they're a mixed bag. They're a little of everything. Swamp Thing was there too. Swamp Thing also walked by for a minute.
What? What would Swamp Thing even do out here?
In space? I don't know. They just wanted to put Swamp Thing in there because they couldn't put him in anywhere else.
Yeah. I think, what was it? This wraps up with them just like having had a big fight, and then they're like, now we know where we come from.
A big fight, and also I think implied, group sex with everyone in the bar as well. Because what else would you do on Christmas?
Sleep in each other's arms, like like in Jabba's palace.
Oh yeah.
Weird.
Wow.
I mean, look. Why do you go to space if not for the hedonism?
I misremembered the end of this episode, so I was like, I think that they smashed the duck, but then Humanite reads them a story at the end, so it's better. And then I'm like, wait, no, Humanite fixes the duck, but makes him say, like, highbrow entertainment.
Yep, some straight-up PBS stuff.
What the hell? You know these kids are going to throw that thing in the garbage.
As soon as you leave, yeah. Which actually, I think that was a holdover from another episode, too, when, like, Luthor gives him a bunch of money and Ultra Humanite just gives it to public broadcasting.
He sure does. Oh, by the way, great episode when, like, the Legion of Doom captures Batman and then off-screen, subtly, like, hinted at, Ultra Humanite just knows who Batman is.
Yeah.
In either it's like he figured it out, or Bruce is like, I'm Bruce Wayne. You're not going to tell anyone who I am. I'll pay you more than Luthor's paying you.
Mm-hmm. Just make a big donation in my name to PBS.
Exactly.
What a shame.
So I can hear my yo-yo ma.
It was a present for some kids who really wanted it.
A paltry bit of plastic. And
I like how Ultra Humanite's like, well, anyway, it's over. Like, don't worry about it. Moving
Yeah,
on.
his done.
Don't you remember what it's
I am a man of culture and taste. I know what I'm beating.
Yeah, I kind of really want to see like a Flash show with this Wally and like with the Rogues, because you don't really see it more than like the one episode that the Rogues appear in.
It's true. Yeah, it's funny. The live-action show introduced all the Rogues, but then squandered Captain Cold because he was way too goddamn good. So they turned him into a good guy, and now I don't think they'll ever do the whole Rogues Rebellion thing.
Damn.
Especially
That's
the
a
kids
waste of
who need
opportunity.
some.
Like,
I'd like to
Boy,
we're gonna
is
put the
it.
friggin' monitor in our show, but we won't actually make a Rogues episode.
Unworthy aspect.
They tried, but it was like with all the lesser tier rogues, where it's like, see, you made Heatwave and Captain Cold too popular, and then you used Pied Piper once and never brought him back. How do you get so many things so right and then so many other things wrong? And also, you've completely buried the lead with your Wally now.
I've got two letters for you. CW is the code for that.
Yeah. Well, the Wally thing isn't totally their fault. Apparently, the actor has like a lot of issues going on,
Oh, okay.
which is why he's just not on any of the shows anymore.
Right. So is this like Humanite's lab? Like, does he have all this stuff?
It's his flop.
But why
Right.
did you hit me?
You hit me first.
It's rent controlled.
Yeah.
Geez, I want to kick him out because he's an evil mad scientist, but always pays on time.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. He does creep me out. He doesn't dress like I want him to. I mean, jeez.
They also never.
apparently- What?
I was gonna say they also never give Ultra Humanite an origin in this show. He just shows up like this, and they never explain why he's like this.
Right? I really like this.
Oh yeah.
It's cute to see Clark like kind of regress. Like when he has no one, like when Lois isn't here, when Kara isn't here, like he's a complete little kid again.
It's the truest him.
I really like that.
Also, John too, walking amongst the people, doing his, cane and kung fu.
Right.
Merry Christmas!
Which I think all of his best episodes were basically about that Martian Manhunter trying to examine the human condition.
Oh yeah. Honestly, one of my favorite comic book portrayals of Martian Manhunter is in New Frontier.
That's a really good one.
And I think they're trying to do that now in the new Martian Manhunter series, but it's just so boring. I couldn't be bothered.
But he's a dirty cop, Sal. He was doing dirty cop things on Mars.
Right, I don't care about that.
I like that's their newest thing, where it's like, how do we differentiate him from Superman? What if he was a dirty cop?
Right? I guess. Or you could just not do that. Like,
I think this episode, too, is the first time we actually see him assume the John Jones persona and form he never did before.
no, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does it here, and then he does it again when they're hiding from the Thanagarians.
Yeah. Also, the big Christmas carol they have there, I spent years looking for what it's actually called. It's called It Came Upon a Midnight Clear.
Yeah. Oh, you're not familiar with It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, eh?
No. It's been a while since I've done Mass.
It's also like a Christmas carol. You'll hear it on like a classic Christmas carols playlist or whatever.
That's true. Because as we all know, there's only two types of carols, the Santa ones and the Jesus ones, and there's way more Jesus ones.
Well, its roots are in that.
It is his birthday,
It is
right?
his birthday, after all. It's funny, actually. I think I'm familiar with this song mostly because of A Christmas Carol, like the play A Christmas Carol. They play it a lot in there, in the version I was in anyway.
Oh, interesting. This episode too reminds me a lot of the one where Martian Manhunter, his like telepathy, he couldn't shut it off, so he only ever heard the worst in people until like they try and find a lost little girl at the end, and it fills him with joy and being like, oh, humanity's not all bad, and this is kind of like that too.
I like that.
Yeah, the alien sees the good in us.
Right. I mean, that's literally the origin of any non-Earth-bound superhero in the Marvel Universe. Is like, I was here to study and destroy you. I found out you guys are awesome, and I want to probably bang one of you. And so I'm part of your team now.
I saw your beauty and your worth, and I will protect your kind, and I will protect your Earth.
God, I remember, doesn't he make Ultra Humanite wear like an emasculating outfit?
Yes, he makes him wear he wants him to wear a Santa hat. He's like, I'm not wearing the hat. And they're like, no, you're going to freak the kids out with your exposed brain. Please put the hat on.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
You are horrifying to look at. I'm sorry.
Right. Oh, that's right, he changes it so it like glows.
I'll tell you a story.
Is that DJ Rubber?
And also reads a Nutcracker.
Look how disappointed they are.
Clara had just
Well, listen, kids, you can hear the rubber ducky, tell you the story of the Nutcracker, or you can see that crappy new movie.
I
Right.
kinda liked it when he made the poopy noise.
So it's really up to you. You'll be disappointed either way.
Yeah. All right, I guess it's nice. The duck goes from being like a Tickle Me Elmo to a Teddy Ruxpin, basically.
in the span of only a short amount of time.
Yeah, because Paul Dini's like, I remember Teddy Ruxpin, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I wanted to say thanks. You really helped me out.
I did.
I like
Do
Flash
things like-
and his rogues, like in this show anyway, where it's like
They're very casual.
they're very casual. Flash is like, I don't hate you, I'm not trying to destroy you. Here's a weird tree.
Aluminum Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Kind of cheesy, but
No. Had one just like it when I was.
I think, too, Flash could be more casual with his rogues in this show because they never introduced the Reverse Flash.
Right. Man, once, like, I guess it was John's, like, whoever used Reverse Flash to, like, become just a total monster.
I'm your Joker.
Yeah, they were like, well, we're never gonna go back. Like, we're just gonna do this, like, from now on. Make, like, Flash comics sadistic and miserable.
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
The Barry ones, at least.
Right.
But much like Hal Jordan, I don't think Barry's ever going anywhere now.
Yeah. See, look, they had a three-way. It's totally implied.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And grew much closer because of it.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, John.
You'll see him, actually, later on in the show. No.
Now that's a twist.
Right, when John and Shire are in a really big bind, he pops out of nowhere.
Hey, remember that magical night we spent together one Christmas?
And they're like, we don't talk about it, just help us out.
We never even got your name, sir.
I would love to know what the Martian song that John is singing is, like, from, if anything.
Yeah, what's the Klingon translation?
Yeah, like, and he got Streaky to like him. Like, does he, I don't know, does he, like, did they force this poor actor to sing something? Or did they write something? I like it. It's melodic. It's amelodic. It's just haunting.
It's very nice. It sounds alien, as it should.
Yeah. And I like that moment of Clark just being like, and he said he didn't bring us a gift.
He brought the greatest gift of all.
Aw. Well, there you go. That was it. That was the show. With that killer ballad.
To close it out, yeah.
Man, good show.
Mm-hmm. And still holds up so well all this time later.
It's true. Well, what's your favorite vignette from that episode?
Ooh. Probably the John one. I definitely think that was their A plot. That was the one they're leading with. The Flash is pretty solid too.
Yeah, I really could take or leave the Shira John plot.
Yeah, it's fine. It's to further their romantic subplot that would pay off later on in the show.
Yeah, I just don't care. Like, I was like, it just wasn't very strong. It's like, so women are from Mars and men are from, it's that kind of thing. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, Shira's...
It's also the least Christmassy.
Oh, big time. Oh, no. Which I think is deliberate. I think they're like, I want you to... this is a show for everybody. If you love Christmas and you're like, want to get into the spirit, this is a show for you. But if you also hate Christmas or you're a little bit, of a contrarian, you're going to like this episode too, because you'll get this episode for you. But,
That's true.
I'm hokey, so I like both those other vignettes more.
As am I.
But there you go. Should we do another one? I don't know.
I think we should. Should we do an X-Men one?
All right, we'll do that awful X-Men, Christmas with the Morlocks.
Or have yourself a Morlock Christmas. Tell you what, we can do have a Morlock Christmas, or because you've never seen it before and because it's all free on YouTube right now, you could watch On Angel's Wings from X-Men Evolution.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. All right, On Angel's Wings. Here we go.
Because I've been boosting this one forever. I think it's incredibly underrated. I think Evolution is underrated in general, but I think this is one of their better ones.
Right. I remember it being a really neat show, and I really liked the designs and everything. It was just like, it just never really
clicked.
I missed it. I just didn't get a chance to. So if you are of a mind, you can go on to YouTube and type in X-Men Evolution Season 2, Episode 7, On Angel's Wings. Once you've got it, we're just literally going to just click go on the episode.
Yep.
So get your...
It's totally free.
So you can pause us and then get your episode queued up and ready to go. So, yeah, 3, 2, 1, pause us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're back. Let's see. We got the episode queued up. So, Joel, you got it too?
Yep.
Great. All right. Then we're going to count down from 3, 2, 1. So it's going to be 3, 2, 1, and then you click on the play button on your YouTube screen. We are still not going to show it on our screen because we really don't want to get flagged, but you'll be fine. So yeah. All right. Let's get it going. 3, 2, one click. All right, and we got Christmas in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which
Joel,
I've
I'll let you
never
lead the discussion
experienced.
on this one because I know very little about the show. All I do know is apparently like that like awesome intro for X-Men Evolution, the sequence of like Kitty and Rogue dancing is like,
Yeah.
I think from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They just like rotoscoped
Oh,
out like,
there's a lot of Buffy in this. Hey, Worthington Tower hotels, and Hitler is a doorman.
what? Or J. Jonah Jameson, he's like doing some volunteer work.
That's who trying to help out. This is the first episode where we see Angel.
Oh, okay, that's smart.
He also leaves at the end of this, and we never see him again. This show did that a lot. They introduce fan-favorite X-Men, give them an episode, and then they'd never be seen again.
I gotta say, that's kind of like in keeping with the old X-Men animated series.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Basically, if there's a rule of thumb with the X-Men animated series, and that's if you are introduced to a new character who does not appear in the intro, you will never see them again.
Yep. So yeah, Warren has chosen Christmas time to reveal himself as a mutant kid of privilege as he was in the comics, and he's saw like a big house fire there, and he's going to help out with it on Christmas.
Okay. See, now, if I were Angel and I like were in a world that hated and feared me, and like, you know, I didn't want to reveal that I was a mutant, I would dress like an angel and then go do good deeds. People would never believe that I even did anything.
That's literally what this episode is about.
Oh, okay. I see Angel's rescuing an older Jean Grey.
Yeah, basically might as well be. What time-displaced universe are you from?
Right. I just love it because Angel is like, he's beautiful and bewinged.
And because of mass Christmas hysteria, everyone in New York will actually start to have like a whole "Are Angels Real?" debate.
Oh yeah. Oh no, J. Jonah Jameson's gonna like have a field day with it.
Oh, of course. Angels coming down in our city. We didn't ask for it.
Where's her wheelchair? Did he leave it?
Yeah. They're insured, I'm sure.
All right, here we go. Here's the sick intro for X-Men Evolution.
A lot of people hated this show just for the fact that they made the X-Men teenagers. I was fine with it because it's like, hey, what better allegory for, you know, changes in your body and being hated and feared than being a teenager?
Well, and that's how they started. Like, if you want to make the X-Men teenagers, like, that's the way, this is the way to start. I think that works fine.
And them even explaining, too, where Xavier's like, look, I can't just keep you in my home school for mutants forever. You have to actually go out into the real world and go to real high school and learn how to interact with people.
Exactly. I also dug, what's his name? The dude who plays, is it Steve Blum who plays Wolverine in the show?
Yes, this was a almost entirely Canadian cast, this.
So was the original X-Men animated series.
I know, it's funny how that keeps happening. Kirby Morrow is Scott.
Oh, okay. But I dug a lot of actually about this. What was it? I liked that they went with the brown suit for Wolverine on the show.
Yeah, that was a fun change. Boyd Kirkland wrote this episode and directed it. Kirkland, of course, has his name over a bunch of superhero TV shows and movies. Was also a devout member of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saint, but often fought against his church quite publicly, and I think a lot of this episode is him getting his religious feelings out, which is why I think it feels so good and personal.
Nice. I like how Nightcrawler is just trying to perv out on Kitty, and she's like, get away from me, because you're blue and gross, which is actually a holdover from the actual comic debut of Kitty Pryde, who had a real hang-up on Kurt, and that was also extended into the X-Men, the animated series pilot, which didn't become a show, but did become a video game for freestanding arcades.
Pride of the X-Men.
Pride of the X-Men. Oh, there was also like a subplot in this show where like Rogue wanted to bang Scott too. Is that what it was?
Yes.
That's neat.
That was the love triangle for this one.
A love triangle that suspiciously never existed in the comics.
Yeah, one they made up.
Yeah,
but they kind of turned her and Jean into like the Betty and Veronica of the series. Do you want, you know, the upper-class preppy girl, or do you want the cool alt girl with the white streaks in her hair?
Jean's getting pissed. Well, maybe you should have gotten him a gift, Jean.
Yeah, also, maybe don't make Jean pissed. She might kill everybody.
Yeah. Oh
It's
no,
happened
you've awakened something in Bobby.
Oh, I know, right? Which is funny. Iceman didn't get much play in this, but man.
Yeah.
This show was ahead of the goddamn curve on a lot of
So
things.
Jean just quits. Goodbye. She just leaves forever.
Yeah, I got family to go see. You orphans can hang out here.
Right. That's funny. I like how Jean's like, I guess technically Rogue is kind of like a condom, like, because she's not gonna be able to touch him.
Oh, I'm not worried about anything happening. Trust me, I'm good.
Yeah. Like, you'll emotionally cheat on me, but that's fine.
That's par for your course.
Yeah.
You do that literally all the time with the aid of psychic powers. This episode 2 coming hot on the heels of Cyclops actually finding out he had a brother in Havoc.
Oh, cool.
But the relationship wasn't good enough yet for him to invite himself to Hawaii to go and hang out with them.
Oh. In the X-Men animated series, the one that everybody loves, the only appearance, I think, of Havoc at all is in the episode where they try to get Bobby back, and they shoot their powers at each other, and they don't work, and they're both like, "What's going on here?" And that's all you get, and you're just like,
I remember.
What? But if you're a comic book fan, you're like, "Oh, I know why. They'll deal with this eventually." Not. So what's this guy's problem?
Got to stay out of Central Park, even in the X-Men's New York. Your suitcase will get stolen, but it's okay because there's also more heroes per capita.
Yeah, seriously. Now, here's a question about the X-Men Evolution series. Did they make any other greater Marvel Universe references?
Yes, this was the last time they were allowed to make reference to Captain America.
Oh, that's right. There's a whole episode, like a flashback episode, right?
And it was the last one for years.
Wow. It's kind of sad.
Very sad. This episode 2 is also, quote-unquote, the first time we see Magneto. We see him walking around just as Eric Lencher trying to tempt Angel to the dark side. Before that, we had only ever saw him in shadows. They were really trying to mystery villain him.
Yeah, I remember those elements where, you'd see the Brotherhood and they'd meet up with him and he'd be like, you'd see his full costume, but they'd, put this crappy digital shadow over him and you're like, who are you trying to fool? It's the main villain of the entire series.
You know who you are. He did have a great reveal, though, when he finally did show up, not with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. He's like, nah, you guys suck. These are my acolytes.
They're way better. It's actually a smart blend. Ditching the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. I mean, doesn't really do much for PR.
No.
But calling them the acolytes is really smart.
Also, too, in this show, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, they were literally like the other frat. They were like the rival frat house.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which was cute, because they were all like the harmless mutants, like Blob and Toad and Quicksilver.
Exactly.
Who's like, well, if I do good on this team, maybe my daddy will love me and invite me to join the Acolytes.
Nope. This also was heavily influenced by the movies.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Just in terms of the character design for Magneto and the voice work for Magneto and Xavier.
That's David Cage.
This is the show.
It was actually
this is just the movie.
Sorry, did I cut you off there?
No,
we had
a
a
bit
of
a this is just literally the movie.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. That's David Kay as Professor X there. He actually lives and works 2 towns over from me in Canada.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, which does not help the stereotype that all Canadians know each other.
Right? Hey, it's that same sign-waving lunatic.
The end is nigh. Oh, sorry, wrong universe.
I like how, did Rogue set this up where she's like, well, let's investigate this angel sighting thing?
Very much so.
So she's like, okay, let's turn it into a date. Hey, are you hungry?
They also were sure to drop the little thing there. It's like, well, if Xavier cares so much about this angel, why doesn't he use Cerebro? Cerebro's down for servicing over the holidays.
Oh, is it really? Is that their excuse?
That's their excuse. It's down for servicing.
At least they addressed it. I was going to say, I thought Xavier just probed their mind and was like, Rogue could use a little, and Jean's kind of uptight.
I know this.
I know what you're thinking.
I'm a creepy old man who actively moves my students around so they'll date.
Yes, I move these children around like pieces of chess.
Also, Beast had some good Shakespeare quotes there. Or no, they thought it was Shakespeare, but it was the Bible. When he's like, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio.
And
that
is That is Shakespeare, but
Oh no, wait, he does both. He does Shakespeare, and then later he does "And by those who entertained angels unaware." That's the Bible.
there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there was a Horatio in the Bible.
There might have been. you know, near the back. We don't talk about him that much.
Exactly. Well, maybe one of them was, someone begat somebody else who begat Horatio.
Begat Dave.
So oh crap! Just Angel has a costume now.
Yep, he put it together in the last little bit. He figured he better cover his face after his last run in.
And he better make it an X theme as well.
Mm-mm. Also, too, maybe he put the mask on because it's winter and it's cold to be flying around.
Yeah, not because he wants to look like a superhero or a member of the X-Men or anything.
Also, Magneto's plan here is great, too. Alrighty then. So I gotta turn people against Angel. They love him too much because he looks like too much of a hero. I know.
Right, I know. I'll kill these people. Does he? Okay, no. Or I'll put
he
him
does
in a
try
position...
and kill a child in a second, though.
Oh, cool.
What would you call this on your channel, Sal? What kind of scheme is this he's working?
Oh, this is a ridiculously circuitous scheme he's working right now. It's just he's got lots of layers.
Oh yeah. So if I mastermind this and then blame it on him in a few minutes.
Like what to what end, Eric?
Because if people hate him, then he'll want to join me. I'll give him my pitch.
If you have to manufacture a scenario where you are effective or good, you're not truly good.
No, your pitch isn't that good.
Exactly, it's not a solid foundation, man. Well,
could use work.
Oh, got your picture taken now. It didn't work, and he comes out. He's like, "Hey, no, he's actually a bad guy." Yeah, good call.
Yeah, mysterious man in a trench coat and silver hair. I believe what he said.
Yeah. Hey, we're all gonna gang up on an old man. Do you want to help? Where are you going?
Time to get out of here.
I can't believe he hasn't joined the team. This is a whole setup episode where they're just put him on the show.
Here's the thing. He doesn't actually join either team. He's like, actually, you both suck.
Right, well, I get that. I'm just like, but why not just put him on the show?
Because they had other mutants they were more interested in pushing. Heck, Spike was a big character for the first couple seasons. Then they write him off, and he joins the Morlocks and is never seen again.
Really? They just get it? Because I remember Spike was a big push. That was like...
Yep.
I don't even remember if Spike was even a freaking original mutant or if he was made up for the show. But
I think he was a little of both.
But Spike sucks. And they were like, yeah, he likes to skateboard, and he's he was like the Kitty Pryde character.
Yes,
shows
he
up.
was.
Like, this is all strange and interesting.
He was a class clown. He got several focus episodes. He had a rivalry with Quicksilver going on because their origins are tied in this show.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why?
They went to the same school, were on the same sports team, and Spike always outdid Quicksilver because he always had to hide his powers, and he resented him because of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then eventually they both manifest on the same night, and he gets his big initiation into the Brotherhood, and Spike ends up fighting him.
Why?
Oh yeah, because they have tryouts in this show. It's not enough to join the Brotherhood. We need to have tryouts.
If you are forcing people to go into death trap scenarios so that they can be manipulated by public opinion to join your squad, again, you probably shouldn't be picking and choosing. You're desperate for members here, man.
That was more Mystique's thing. Mystique, who was also the principal of the school in disguise. She was Principal Darkholm.
I remember she was very subtle. I remember Mystique being she was the... yeah. I was going to make a reference, but I don't want to spoil a show on Netflix right now.
Oh, where someone is I think I know the one you mean.
There's a sexy female, administrator that's isn't what she seems. I gotta tell you, this Magneto costume is dope.
It's really solid. I'm amazed we didn't see more of this one.
See what I mean, by the way, about the artificial, digital shadow? They clearly just made Magneto, and they were like, let's, give him a little more shadow. We get it. It's Magneto.
He's menacing.
Since they took so much from the movie, and they wanted, they clearly wanted to, use the juicy Charles and Eric best friend relationship.
Mm-hmm.
does since like Magneto's more of like a puppet master throughout the first season or two,
Yeah.
do they ever like throughout that first season or two like have Xavier go like, "Oh, Eric," like, you know, like refer to the fact that they're friends and like are compatriots of some kind?
Eventually we will get there, but it also gets even weirder because there's a whole episode where they address the fact that being a Holocaust survivor, Magneto should be way older than he actually is.
Oh, really? They address that? Why?
They do, and they do a whole episode where Magneto has to do a thing to get his youth back.
Oh.
That's a weird episode. It's also a Nightcrawler and Kitty Pryde centric episode because this show kind of seeks to imply that Magneto is actually Kurt's dad in this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they never say it outright. They never answer, but we see a bunch of flashbacks from Mystique's point of view in like a creepy German castle calling Magneto a monster. What have you done to him? And that's when she like sends baby Nightcrawler down the water like Moses.
I like that Cyclops and Rogue had to put on their X-Men costumes in order to deal with
Oh,
this.
yeah. Well, they were at the church and saw him leave, so they had to stop off, change, and come back.
Right?
Look, Magneto's going to be wearing his costume, so we have to be wearing ours.
Exactly. I mean, that being said, it's a children's cartoon. I remember being a kid, I remember them, like, trying to test that a little bit, like, especially with X-Men Animated, but also with, like, Batman the Animated Series, being like, oh, let's just do an episode where he's a hero and he doesn't need to wear the costume. And I remember as a kid being like, he's got to put on the costume. I'm not here for regular people.
You know, it's funny, in our Pitch It episode we did not too long ago, where it's like, hey, let's create like a Marvel Christmas thing that, like, you know, might not entirely be about Christmas, so it can be replayed. This is kind of one of those.
Yeah. I mean, like, so far I have not really gotten much Christmas out of it, except for the fact that, like, could Rogue fly before? Is she flying because she took Magneto's power?
She took Magneto's power, so now she can fly. She could not fly in this show.
That's too bad. Yeah, because I liked that they were like, let's just do something totally different with Rogue, but also the first show is pretty much the thing that makes people like Rogue. Like, Rogue is tortured and interesting and, like, sorrowful, but also, like, joyous and loves life and superpowered. Like, she's should be strong and fly. She should be basically like a tortured, you know, like, energy vampire Superman.
I think Rogue gets defeated in a really stupid way. I think like an air conditioner falls on her and something, and that's the end of the fight because Magneto needs to be a villain later.
Right, because we can't just have them beat him and then be like, hey, Professor, we've defeated Magneto, literally with only 2 members of the team.
I guess we can just send all the other guys home, huh?
Yeah, but like that, I think that's the only Christmas thing about this is that, like, most of the team isn't here because it's Christmas time.
And they have family and lives, unlike the 2 unloved Christmas orphans.
Right, and Beast.
And Beast, too.
Yeah, do they explain where the hell Wolverine is?
Drinking.
Because if Wolverine is not on screen, people need to be asking where Wolverine is.
We actually get a nice little snapshot at the end of what all the X-Men are doing with their holidays, and I literally think Wolverine is just drinking.
Oh, cool.
I mean, what else would he be doing?
Yeah. Exactly. Although, I think in Christmas with the Morlocks or whatever, or Have Yourself a Morlocky Christmas, Wolverine is just like, I hate God.
Yeah, really. He's a real Grinch in that one.
He really is. And he doesn't really learn a lesson. He, like, kind of is...
No.
They're like, you have to learn a lesson. They force him to learn one, but at the same time...
They browbeat him into giving some blood and pulling off a Christmas miracle, even though he doesn't really give a shit.
Exactly. Well, he's one of those people who, like, insists he doesn't care by caring more than anyone else in the room. Like, I hate Christmas. I hate it. Like, I don't care at all. Like, well, if you don't care, then, like, you should probably like tone it down because you're freaking out right now. I'm not freaking out. I'm cool as a cucumber.
So yeah, they literally give him the pitch for the X-Men, and Angel's like, I don't know, man. You all sound messed up to me.
So I live in a big empty house with a bunch of losers. Nah, I'm rich, bitch. Fly.
Literally. Also, too, Angel going around and saving people solo. That was in the comics too. Before he ever joined the team, he was like a solo hero, the Avenging Angel, or is that like another Golden Age hero? I'm thinking of.
I think that might be another hero, but I do remember Angel leaving because like the X-Men have like disbanded and changed like a lot.
More than any other.
I mean, like the X-Men that you know were X Factor once.
Mm.
Like, that's how different things got.
So here's what everyone's doing with their holiday. Gene's
good.
getting a tree. Hey,
Getting a
Kitty's
tree.
Jewish.
Yeah, I mean we knew that, but
But now we're showing you on screen, which was big at the time.
isn't Hanukkah over?
As it comes and goes,
Yeah.
but it remains.
I was always amazed by the attention to detail with Kurt's little like vision changer, like his
Oh yeah.
that he like his hands never like changed. You know what I mean? Like that his fingers were just kind of like close together.
It was a
That was
nice
cool.
touch. Why would you ever get into a snowball fight with Storm?
Yeah, isn't Spike related to Storm in the show?
Yes, he's her nephew.
There you go. I love they just kicked him out of the show.
Yep. He's just like, go live with the Morlocks. We have nothing left for you to do.
Yeah, there we go. We're just two lonely men
Mm-hmm.
drinking cocoa.
No time for a wife. Oh, I was married a little bit. Actually, Legion has a good episode in this too.
What? Legion?
Yes, they're like, we have to go back to Scotland. My illegitimate son has been kidnapped. And then we find out, no, he's not kidnapped. All these people are just his split personality.
That's cool. Well, there you go. That was X-Men Evolution on Angel's Wings.
I like this one.
It's a good one. It's actually pretty fun. And, like, if you're just watching Christmas specials for, superhero-themed cartoon shows, couldn't go wrong with this. It's certainly more tolerable than Have a Morlock Christmas or whatever the hell it was.
It is.
I tried watching that with a group of people, and we stopped, I think, about 8 or 10 minutes into the episode. I
It's
was like,
really rough.
this is rough.
Like, all the good stuff about X-Men the Animated Series still holds up, but oh wow, is the bad stuff pretty bad.
It's really rough. Yeah. I recommend, if I was going to recommend any other show, I'd be like, watch The Tick versus Multiple Santa. That's pretty fun.
Oh, that's good.
But, yeah, so there you go. A full almost hour of commentaries for superhero-themed Christmas specials. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and enjoying this commentary track where we just kind of rambled on about all kinds of random crap. If you want more of these, let us know, because it was fun to do and it's not that hard. So
Yeah.
we'd love to do more. And to our patrons who might be watching, we do appreciate you hanging out with us and taking advantage of this opportunity. And so from there, we will see you guys next time in the new year when the 2019 approaches. That's when we'll be back. That's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? You think it'll be better this year?
We can only hope, right? Be cautiously optimistic of the future.
Every year I am, and sometimes I'm rewarded for it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it for us. On that cheery note, we'll see you guys next time with another episode of Elseworlds Exchange. I'm Sal.
I'm Joel.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.